See, this idea that shifted my paradigm when I lost over 100 million of having faith that there's something bigger than me that loves me, protects me, promotes me more than my mom would, is that last portion of no longer am I trying to get more happy, more healthy, more wealthy, and more worthy in my life. I already am. I'm happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. I use the what, the who, the how, and the now to figure out what I'm doing to interfere with what I already am, interfere with my higher self, interfere with my potential. And when you can shift your paradigm, paying attention and giving all 5 levels of intention, what you think, say, do, believe, and feel towards a trajectory of what you want, who you can help, who can help you, how to get it done, and prioritize it correctly, you'll live in the why. You'll live inspired, in spirit. You will recollect, remind, and remember why you are here.
What's going on? Wanted to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor. If you're looking for social media experts to handle your business or personal Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Perpetual Motion Marketing is the solution you've been looking for. Hiring them is the equivalent of hiring a graphic designer, copywriter, and account manager at the fraction of the cost of just one employee. Once a month, Perpetual Motion Marketing will send you 30 days worth of custom social posts tailored to your brand for you to review and request revisions, which guarantees that you're going to love every post they create. On top of that, you get your own account manager that you can meet with anytime you want, and their customer service is phenomenal. There's a reason they only have 5-star reviews. Plus, they're going to optimize all of your social profiles, and their package includes story posts. Go to their website, perpetualmotionmarketingco.com, and book a call with them today. Tell them that I sent you, Erik Allen, and they'll give you 50% off your first month with them. David, you are a husband, father, keynote speaker, best-selling author. You're an entrepreneur, investor, podcast host. You're also the co-founder of Sports One Marketing, much more. I love your life mission to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. So awesome. Thank you for your time. Thank you for what you do.
Yeah, well, thanks for giving me a platform to help. And this is how I'm going to get it done, by finding 1,000 people like you that will empower 1,000 to empower 1,000 to be happy, to teach them how to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. And I love anyone that starts the introduction with husband and father, not speaker, author, executive producer, sports legend, or whatever else they call me.
Yeah.
Because you started with what's most important to me.
Yes. And me as well. Like, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, and family's first always, man. So I love that. I love to go back with my guests. Where did you grow up? What was childhood like for you?
Yeah, so childhood was what I call the world of not enough. I grew up, I had a single mom. My dad left when I was 5. I lived in Akron, Ohio. Great place to be from. But my mom worked 2 jobs. I always say I never have listened to my mom, but I watched her. And it's been one of the greatest opportunities to watch my mom, who worked 2 jobs as a 2nd grade teacher, pack my dinner in a paper bag, shoved us into a country squire station wagon so she could fill up turnstiles with greeting cards at convenience stores, just so we could use our food stamps to eat, but I watched her, in the lessons that you learn about love, forgiveness, about work ethic. People ask me not only how did I achieve what I did at such a young age, but after losing it all, how did I achieve it again? A lot is just from watching my mom and not listening to her.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. What a crazy story, man. In fact, I was going to ask you about that because I first heard about you when you were on Ed Mylett show a few years back. And that's when I've been following you since. And you shared a story on there where you lost over $100 million and you're still grateful, even though you had to go live in a rented house, rented furniture and things like that. What was the biggest lesson that you learned from that? And why was being grateful in that moment so important?
It was faith, and I wasn't necessarily a religious, spiritual, philosophical person when it came to faith. And, when you experience something like that and realize, wait, maybe I'm not being punished, maybe I'm being protected and promoted. And maybe there's something bigger than me that is protecting and promoting me. Just like I always tell this story, when I was 3, my mom's the consummate 2nd grade teacher. And you may know women like this, that even though I'm 54, they still talk to you like, oh my God, sweetheart. That's my mom. Never, my wife always says my biggest issue in life is my mom never hit me.
Okay.
But I tell my wife, I'm like, she hit me one time and it changed my life. Later on in my life, she planted a seed under a tree that I never knew I'd sit under. But this is what happened. I reached out at 3 years old to touch the stove, and it was on. My mom slapped the crap out of my hand and screamed at me, no. And I started crying. She had never yelled at me, let alone hit me. And I'm literally, Mom, why are you punishing me? What did I do? I'd never been in trouble. She just hugged me, said, baby, I'm protecting you. I just know more about the stove than you know. And I know it looks like it's what you want to touch, but you don't want to touch it. And when I lost everything, for whatever reason, that seed that had been planted 30 years ago, it sprouted. And I'm like, wait a second, maybe I didn't want all these things. Maybe this was a hot stove and I'm being protected and promoted because I am surrounding myself with the wrong people and the wrong ideas. I've lost my gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and inspiration. I have every monetary thing I've ever dreamed of. I have access to everything I ever wanted as I was running the most notable sports agency in the world. They made the movie Jerry McGuire about our firm. But yet, to me, I learned one valuable lesson. Just because I think I want to touch the stove doesn't mean I want to touch the stove, and that I have to have faith that there's an omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing entity that loves me more than my mom loves me. Therefore, when I get slapped and yelled at, pain, setbacks, failure, mistakes, I'm simply being promoted and protected.
Come on. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. And one of the things for me, like I'm really big on daily routines and morning routines, non-negotiable for me. I know that's a big thing for you as well. And you talk about your daily practices of being gratitude, empathy, accountability, and effective communication. And you say that each person should ask 4 questions each day. Like, can you deep dive into your daily routine? And then what are those 4 questions people need to be asking?
Yeah, that's so important because the way conscious, subconscious, and unconscious work together is through consistent behavior. In fact, happiness is derived by paying attention and giving intention to your journey or the cause, not attaching it to an outcome. That interval of time will become longer, both in pragmatic time and in relativity of time, if you learn to focus only on the outcome. Instead, I teach people, know, number one, what you want. What do you want personally, experientially, giving and receiving, with your trajectory in mind, not outcomes, trajectory. So you're aiming towards a mid or a long-term milestone or objective, but you're practicing today. What do I want? Which creates a possibility. So you start out the day in nothingness. You say, what do I want? You get a mathematical advantage with this routine because now it's a possibility. Once you know what you want, it's a possibility. Then ask yourself, who can I help and who can help me with what I want? Now it goes from possibility to probability, because the way we become inspired in spirit, the way we have this faith and hope, is by knowing who we can help and who can help us. Then we take the probability and make it our reality by having discipline. This consistent behavior. You either suffer from discipline or regret. So the third question is, okay, how am I going to get it done? How am I going to be efficient, effective, and statistically successful? How am I going to be productive, accessible, and gracious with the man-made construct of time, with activity I get paid for, activity I don't get paid for, activity I planned, I don't have planned, and my sleep. So I use the what, who, and how to determine the fourth question, what do I do now? See, prioritization is the confirmation that you know your what, who, and how. It is also an affirmation that you have prioritized what's important to you. The biggest mistake that people make in their life is they try to get what other people want for them, what they don't want, or what's missing. And then they end up in a terrible place, so confused and worried because why do I keep getting what other people want from me? Why do I keep getting what's missing? Why do I keep getting what I don't want? Because that's where you're paying attention and intention to. So if you know your what, your who, your how, and your now, then you can live in the why, applying the why. See, this idea that shifted my paradigm when I lost over 100 million, of having faith that there's something bigger than me that loves me, protects me, promotes me more than my mom would, is that last portion of no longer am I trying to get more happy, more healthy, more wealthy, and more worthy in my life. I already am. I'm happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. I use the what, the who, the how, and the now to figure out what I'm doing to interfere with what I already am, interfere with my higher self, interfere with my potential. And when you can shift your paradigm, paying attention and giving all 5 levels of intention, what you think, say, do, believe, and feel, towards a trajectory of what you want, who you can help, who can help you, how to get it done, and prioritize correctly, you'll live in the why. You'll live inspired, in spirit. You will recollect, remind, and remember why you are here.
Mm. Oh gosh, man, that was so amazing. So good, David. Thank you so much. Hey guys, this episode is sponsored by Tranquil Turtle Massage. Tracy over there, the founder, she's a small town girl from Montana, loves God, loves her family, loves her friends, loves working out, fishing, and camping. She has a passion for helping those in need and enjoys being creative with woodworking, crocheting, healthy baking, pottery, and cooking. Look, she began her massage journey back in 2010, where she graduated from massage school up in Anchorage, Alaska. She specializes in her signature massages, the Hanu infusion and the Hanu ashiatsu, as well as the gua sha and manual lymphatic drainage. If you're looking for a massage specialist and someone who could get you feeling good, go see Tracy down at Tranquil Turtle Massage. And while you're there, check out CDA Microblading, offering Coeur d'Alene's best tattoo brows, plasma fibroblast, tightening, and PMU services right there in the heart of downtown Coeur d'Alene. Make sure you book your appointment at pnwmobilemassage.com. You know, and you touch base on the word faith a few times there, and I'm a man of faith as well. And how much does faith play into your daily life, your business, and your family?
Surprisingly enough, if somebody would have asked me this years ago, I'd have said 0. Now I say 100%. There, it is the cornerstone, the foundation. It's the only non-negotiable that I tell people. And I don't care what your religious perspectives are, your spiritual perspectives, or your philosophical perspectives. I create no separation between you, me, and anyone else. I just need you to believe that there's something bigger than you. Define it as you will. And I have to also add, not only is there something bigger than you, you have to have faith that it loves you more than your mom or you love your own children. If you can believe 100% of the time, now that's my potential 100% of the time. I do spend minutes and moments in fear. I do attack people and judge people, and I'm human. But the difference in my life today compared to 16 years ago is that I only spend minutes and moments there. I don't spend days, weeks, months, and years creating interference, accelerating in the wrong direction, wondering why I can never get to where I want to be, why I always feel stuck, how I live, as you saw in that Ed Mylett interview. The thermostat was set energetically and genetically for Ed and I, and we learned through these faithful practices. I mean, how many times did Ed Mylett say God is good? You know, and I believe that we say it together all the time as we become close friends, but 100% of the time I try to be faith driven.
Yes, as well. Yeah, Ed's such a great dude. I won the Max Out Challenge back in 2019 and got a phone call with him. And it changed my life forever. And that 20-minute phone call that Ed and I had, and he was sitting at the background of the beach, you know, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm literally talking to Ed Mylett. This is crazy, you know, one of those moments. And then I went and got his book. And actually this show I started because I came across Ed's show on YouTube, and I was like, man, this is awesome. Yeah, it's such an honor to have.
He inspired me to be that person, right? Like, it's amazing. When I met Ed, I didn't really know who he was. It wasn't in my space, and we became very close friends immediately. And you know, now we're brothers. We're in the men's group together. We do a lot of things, but it's amazing. I never thought what I did or what Ed did could have that impact. You know, and it's not just, hey, I like these guys. It's, wow, I learned from them, and I started this because I'm on my journey because these people are catalysts to get me there. And I really appreciate you saying that about it.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so good. And one of the questions I love to ask is what's one skill set that every human being should have?
I know this might sound easy, but I will change everyone's life with this skill set. And it's an easy one to gain. Ask for help. I think it's a superpower more than a skill set. The easiest way to get to where you want to be is find someone that's already there and ask them for directions. So look, the universe is made on asking. Those who ask more don't live in a zero-sum game where when they ask, somebody else loses. When they ask, everybody gains. It's a value add game asking. And if people ask me not only what that one skill set would be, I also will tell you what's the one piece of advice I would give myself at 14, 24, 34, 44, and I still give to myself today at 54, looking at every sent email in my sent email box to make sure I'm asking for some sort of help. It's amazing. Ask for help. 3 golden words that'll be a superpower in your life. You'll be amazed how and what changes if you ask in person, on the phone, email, traditional media and social media, if you make a practice of asking, I promise you, you will exceed your expectations of your potential.
It's so good. I love that. And I just have two more questions there for you. But what are you most excited about right now, April 2022? What's getting you excited for this year?
I've been blessed to do an Apple TV deal with Apple. They have Martha Stewart and I creating and developing content for entrepreneurs. And to have that platform, I had Bloomberg, I've had Amazon. So all of my shows, but more importantly, I'm developing entrepreneur shows for Apple.
Mm,
And that has me most excited because if I'm going to meet my mission of empowering over 1 billion people, the bigger the platforms I have to share the dummy tax that I've paid, the situational knowledge and relationship capital that I've gained, if have a platform that has the larger user base like Apple, it's amazing how much more impact I can have. How many more people like you, Erik, are out there saying, oh my God, I talked to Dave Meltzer for 20 minutes and it changed my life, or I saw
yeah.
his 2-minute drill, his podcast, the playbook, or office hours, or one of the other things that I'm doing.
Mhm.
That is my true North Star. And it's just been an accelerant in what I'm doing.
I'm so excited for you, man. So awesome. You're gonna be changing so many lives with that. I'm a big music guy, so I'd love to ask the question, like, what type of music do you listen to? What's your favorite band?
That's so cool. Because people ask me that. I love all music that resonates with me. And why that's interesting is I tell people all the time, I give speeches around the world. I'm like, look, there's two types of people: the ones who write down everything I say and the ones who write down nothing. And you both end up in the same place, not remembering anything.
Yep.
And if you don't have access to the notes that you're taking, I say only write down what resonates with you and then figure out a system to access the lessons that resonate with you. So music for me is what resonates with me. So all the way from Handel's Messiah to Steel Pulse and reggae to Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones to, I've traveled with, Kerry King and Slayer. So in every genre, there's certain artists or songs. Elton John is his compilation of almost every song for whatever reason resonates with me. But I
Mm,
would say my favorite song is Imagine by John Lennon.
mm,
No matter what, like I almost feel it when I'm talking to you, no matter
yeah.
what situation I am, if I put that song in, it's like my life mission in lyrics.
Mm. Yeah. Gosh, what a great song, man. It's so good. Even my kids who are 8 and 12, I've introduced them to that song and they love to hear that. And it's cool. We're definitely a music family. We have music running all day long. And so it's so cool to just see my kids like jamming out to that song and just
That's
like
awesome.
kind of in the flow there. But David, such an honor to have you on my show. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, man. I'm super excited for your new show dropping. And by the way, this book here, so good. I just got it in the mail. I'm stoked to finish it. I just started it and it's so good. People need to go out and get that book from you.
Well, please, everyone can email me directly. As you know, I'm very accessible. David@dmeltzer.com. I'd be happy to send my book or the 5 daily practices that we discussed on this interview for free. I'll pay for shipping the book. I'll sign them. I'm here to empower people. The best way is to share my ideas and share my content and do good deeds. David@dmeltzer.com.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the show today. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to take a listen or a watch. It's truly an honor to be able to speak with such amazing guests, and I hope that they've made an impact on your life in some way, shape, or form. And you could do me one big favor that would be huge. Click that subscribe button, and then second favor, hit that share button. Thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate you. Keep changing the world. I believe in you.